be hosting the call tonight with Alix, Sabatini, Reger. My wife Melissa couldn't make it. She's at a surf and yoga retreat tonight, so we're gonna let her off the hook. But just to let everyone know, this call is being recorded, and it'll be up online after if you want to kind of go back and review it. Okay. So tonight we're gonna kind of do some different things, but just so if there's anyone new on the call tonight, just so you understand the purpose of this call is to kind of help people that are coming into the business. They want to do the business and they want to get to team manager or higher as quickly as possible. And I think what we're trying to create here is an environment where you guys feel supported, give you some ideas. And I think one of the areas that Melissa and Alix and I have kind of been talking about is this idea of just talking a lot. And so I think we're going to put some stuff into action tonight and really help you guys figure out how to reach out to people, but actually really reach out to people. So we'll have some fun with it tonight and kind of get into that. Just so you also know, as you guys are growing your team, the next thing that Alix wants to put together is Leadership Lab. So once you get to team manager or you get to director, she really wants to create another environment so you understand how to foster your teams and build your teams even bigger, right? So I think that's an important next step. And if for any of you that don't know Alix has been with the company for about 3.5 years now. And she's a very, very busy person, I should say. She's doing 2 calls during the week, one on Monday and one on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. So if you have anybody that's really interested in the business, make sure you get them on those calls because she does a great job of really explaining what X39 is. And then at the end, she also talks a bit about the business part. So she does, she does the things that people don't necessarily always feel comfortable with doing. And she's such a great teacher when it comes to understanding how the X39 works. So if you can, there's a call tonight. If you have anybody that might be interested, reach out to them, give them the code to jump on tonight and let her do her magic, right? So, and then we obviously do this call on Wednesdays before her other call. So why don't we jump into it tonight? We're going to do it a little bit different, I think, than we normally do. Alix is going to review a little bit of what 331 is. I think most of you guys that are here understand it. We're going to review it for the purposes of understanding what we're going to do kind of later on in the call and why it's important. So, Alix, why don't you jump in there and then we'll kind of go back and forth on it.
Happy to do it. I'm going to do this real fast too, because I have a full training on 331 on build331.com, right? So build331.com, it's there. It will be shifted probably soon a little bit just because of the compliance changes and verbiage and all that stuff. But the principles are the same. And the reason why I wanted to kind of get right back to this is because this is where we begin. This is where we send our people to begin. All the training that we need should be in this site for you. And if it's not there, then we're going to create it and we're going to put it there. So the Build 331 system is about how do we do this day to day in the nooks and crannies of our life? What's the goal? And how can we make this sustainable and have it grow and not be attached to outcome, but to activity instead? And I'm just going to flow from my heart here because like I could try to write everything down and I did put some things down. I'm going to share my screen in a moment, but in all reality, everything that we need is in your fingertips, it's at your fingertips on this website. So if you go there and you go to step 1, the 331 system and the trainings are all there for you. The goal is to patch 3 a day, follow up with 3 a day, and invite 1 every day to an event. This could be very unique and different for everyone, right? Like to start with maybe I don't get 3 new people in a day that I can patch, but I might follow up with 3 people that I patched the other day or last week, and follow up with 3 people that are brand new customers, follow up with 3 people that I want to invite into the business, follow up with 3 more people. Like, who knows? Like, it really can be unique to you and your activity. But the idea and the principle is to do something that is setting you up for consistency and doability. If that's a word, it's a word now. Doability. It's something you can do all the time. So do review the 331, because what I teach in that training is that what brings somebody from a prospect to a customer to a solid customer who's going to stay on it, somebody from a solid customer to somebody who's sharing with people, and then from that sharing with people to someone who's going to share with people and has goals for themselves to change their life in some way that is meaningful for them. That is a series of exposures. It's a series of educational exposures, like meeting people, getting more just education, experience, a story, a testimonial, an invitation to meeting somebody else on the team. Every single exposure, you literally can count them. And it takes about 3 to 5 to get a customer, 5 to 7. I'm pulling this out of my head here. Maybe I'm a little off. There's math here, but anyway, 5 to 7 for somebody to remain a long time solid customer who's going to stay on this product. Granted, we know X39 is pretty badass, right? Like, let me just say it, it's pretty amazing. And so it might only take one exposure for somebody to stay on it for life. But I'm just saying, law of averages, right? So, it's going to take a few more for them to stay on it forever, to start sharing. If they don't start sharing immediately, it might take a few more. Just to know that, and not be attached to outcomes, and not be attached to people going from A to Z so quickly, and to just be diligent to the process. That is just what I want to really plant in your mind, because you can't say the right thing to the wrong person or the wrong thing to the right person. So we just want to be making sure that if we open a conversation, if we open an invitation to a next exposure, be it, again, the goal being to get started on the product, to stay on the product, to share with other people, or to like really go with business, whatever that goal is, we are only attached to getting them the education to make that decision for themselves. And if that loop is open, we are only attached to closing the loop and taking it to the next step. We're not attached to the outcome of what happens, because that's where disappointment is born. That's where we start telling stories about ourselves. We just want to make sure that we do our due diligence to make sure they get what they need to make an educated decision wherever they are on that process. And so when you think 331, who am I going to share the product with? Who am I going to follow up with? Who am I going to invite to to an event? Whether it's an event to learn about the product or to learn about the business, whatever, an event to get on a 3-way connection call, it's always, I am here to just serve this person so that I'm helping to close the loop, that they get what they need to make an informed decision for themselves. That's the philosophy. Everything is a head game, you guys. It's all how we think about it, how we approach it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share screen. I'm going to turn it to you, Erin, while I go ahead and get the screen going, so we can shift into what we're going to do right now around this accountability piece, because we really want to put you guys in action and have you leave this call, if not while on the call, certainly right after, getting on your texts and taking some actions. So I'm going to turn it to you.
Yeah, so this was what Alix and I, what I was talking about in the beginning of the call, is just kind of giving you guys some examples of how you can actually reach out and use this 331, and it kind of created different scenarios. So sometimes people feel more comfortable when they're calling people on the phone, right? Other people feel more comfortable when they text, and my wife Melissa, she really enjoys connecting with people on social. I think the idea, what we're trying to do here to help you guys do your 331 very easily, if you're not meeting people in person, is to be able to either create text scenarios here, or to actually use the same kind of concept in reaching out to people on social. So we'll go through both of them. And the idea is we'd love for you to actually do one while you're on the call tonight. And what I'll do is I'll copy and paste this text that Alix has put together here. Use this text, reach out to somebody that's in, I know you all have your lists of people. Just customize it for yourself. We'll walk through and explain why things are being said where they are. and then you can try it out. And this can be part of your 331 strategy. So you don't always have to meet people. You can just begin by a simple text or a DM through social, just to connect with that person on the phone, right? These are all kind of starting conversation ideas, and I think the idea is that we'd love for everyone to try it while you're on the call tonight. And if you do it while you're on the call, drop it in the DM and just let us know that you sent one, because I think that's pretty awesome that that you can put it to action as fast as you can. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
And this is, so what I want to go through are the principles of these texts, right? Because you can craft a text and one little line can be different and make all the difference in that connection with that person. So obviously this little example here may not fit at all, right? Like everything needs to be crafted specifically. So please don't take everything verbatim. It's more about context, not content. All right. So I'm going to talk context. This initial reach out, the goal is, what is the goal? What is the goal? Know what the context is of the conversation you want to have with this person. Is it brand new person? Is it somebody you've known for a long time? Is it somebody that you haven't connected with for a long time? Like, consider that relationship. That's step 3 here. They're not in order, but what is the relationship that you have with this person that's on your list that you really feel somehow compelled to speak with? And why are you compelled to speak to them? What is it about this person? Why did you think of them, right? Any stage of the connection from prospect to, and I'm using business terms, I'm sorry, because they are people, but I'm going to just label prospect, right? If it's somebody who you want to initially invite to the product, or maybe they've been exposed, or you've exposed them already, or they're still wanting more information, whatever that series of educational exposures is, why you thought of them, and consider that relationship and the context of what needs to happen next. Be present with that before you fire off a text or give them a call. You want to know that all the time, what that next step is, so that even if they call you, you're ready for that. It takes just a moment to get present with that, and to then also sink into your heart, right? Get present and in alignment with why am I doing this, right? Do you know your why? We're going to do some more of that work soon. But why am I doing this? I really care about this person. Why did I think of this person? What's the context of this relationship? And you're only attached to, again, getting the information to them so they can make an informed decision for themselves. And it's coming from your heart. If it's coming from, I want them because I think they're going to build my business, because I think they have a huge list, because I think I'm going to get. You need to shift that. It's okay to have that in the beginning. It's fine. I'm not judging. I'm just saying that needs to be shifted down into the heart. Okay, great. So I know that this person is influential. They're awesome. They've got all these amazing things. You can put those bullet points down. I see you. I think you're amazing. I think you're great. You have such influence, and I wanted to share this with you because, not so much because of what you can do for me, but because you have influence, because people listen to you, right? So you just want to make sure that you're shifting that energy into the heart, right? Into how is this going to serve them and the people that they have, right? Or just how is this going to serve them personally? That's it. So that is really important, to get present and in alignment so that your come from is coming from the heart, right? And then the other thing is, again, setting that intent up front on the text. This is where you start to craft the text, where you're not there to bait and switch somebody. Hey, just calling to say hi. I haven't talked to you forever, right? But like, you want to talk to them. And you're like, oh my God, I want to talk to this person. If you have an intention to talk about your product, then that's great. It's fine. But let them know up front. Hey, I found this thing. And this is coming literally off the top of my head. I'm just going to say this because I can't craft this. It just doesn't work for me that way. But hey, I found this thing. I thought of you because blah, blah, blah. I know we haven't spoken for a long time, or I know I could have shared this with you a few weeks ago, but I was scared, or, be honest, right? Be honest. when you're in your heart and you know you're there to serve, then you can just be honest about it. Like, I found this thing, I'm a little nervous about sharing with you because you have all these followers, but can I just tell you, I thought of you because you have these people in your influence, and their technology, this technology is going to blow your mind. I really believe it will. So I would love to talk with you about that. But of course, first, I know it's been a while. Love to connect first and see what's happening in your world. Maybe this is your time. You know, maybe we have time for this, or maybe not. Maybe in the future. Just, I'm telling you guys, authenticity is the name of the game in 2024. It always has been, but more than ever, you need to sink into that reality of like, your heart will speak to people more than anything else, over any science, over any hype, over any sales pitch, is your heart. So,
Alix, I have to share a story just from this week.
Please do, because
perfect. I think for Melissa, my wife, who's usually on this call with us, she's so great at sharing the patch. Someone will see it because, you know, down in Costa Rica, we wear them, or we're down on the beach, and people are always asking, "Hey, well, what's that patch?" Right? So she shares it, does an amazing job. But I think she just crossed over into this other side now, where she's telling people that she's doing it as she believes in the product so much, she's doing it as a business. I become a brand partner. She's telling the truth of it straight out of the gate. And for her, it's changed the way she talks about the product now, because she's so relaxed with it. Like, she feels like she's not, when she's giving people information in the past, she didn't know how they were going to get it, or so on and so forth. She's just been totally straightforward with them. And the same way when I'm doing the texts is I'll say, "Hey, I haven't talked to you in a while. I was just thinking about you. Just started wearing this amazing patch. Would really love to share with you. I like it so much that Melissa and I actually joined the company, are now brand partners." And it just, you sharing your full truth with them, people get excited about, because you're excited. And I think that for us was a big switch, and I kind of want to share that piece with everybody.
Yeah. It's a perfect example of, the more that you were in it, the more you experience the product and experience the education, experience the support, being a part of a team, the further you're able to get into that mindset of like, we're doing this, we're in, right? Like, we're doing this thing. Yeah. And that's exactly what I mean by that series of exposures. Yeah. So granted, this call is the goal is to help you go from brand new to manager. So the goal with that is to have 2 silvers on each leg of your business that are ordering products and are on auto ship. And they are eventually, in order to get to that next level, for, you know, if you're thinking director a little bit ahead, if you're like one step ahead, knowing what's coming, is that you also want to be considering that their next step, should they jump ahead of you and just say like, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing, I want to tell everybody," because that can happen before you're ready. That can happen, and it happens all the time. Know what that next step is. Like, go to build331.com and know what the next step is ahead of time, even if you're just starting, because yes, you can toss them up to your upline, and you can toss them into these trainings and stuff so that they can get what they need. But if you understand that, oh, I'm going to be showing them how to get to manager, just like I did, right? So just know that ahead of time, because as you're doing these texts and these next invitations, anybody can activate, right? We'll call that activation on the business level, right? We activate with the patch, and we activate on the business. We're talking about Melissa activating, you guys activating, right? And you're like, "Oh my gosh." Although, let me just tell you, she activated on like day 1. So anyway, some people do that. So be ready for that. Be ready and excited for that, so that you don't freak out, and like, you know that there's always support for those people who get it right away, but know what that next step is for you. And that is to plug them into the system and to not hold them down or slow them down, right? And to know that when you're texting people, you want to leave that open. You don't want to hold them down. You want to be able to feel comfortable talking about the business. So I want to move that forward with that, right? So I talked about here considering the relationship, where you're at with that relationship, so that you come into that text or that email or that phone call. This can all be phone calls, you guys. This is just an example, that you go into it, connecting where you're at with it, acknowledging where you are with that relationship, being present and aligned, knowing upfront and telling them upfront, hey, I wanted to share with you this information, but before we do, I want to connect with you if you hadn't connected for a while, or maybe you spoke earlier. Hey, I know we spoke earlier, but I forgot to tell you about this. And this is really kind of important because I'm freaking out about it, and, or whatever, right? Like whatever your truth is about it. I was a little afraid to share it with you because I didn't want you to think I was blah, blah, blah. Or, you know, I wanted to try it out for a little bit. I wish I had told you before because now I'm having these results. Get real and think about those things ahead of time, because you want to be upfront about like, hey, I wanted to share this with you for this reason. I thought of you because, and I also want to connect with you first because I don't want to share this with you if you're not ready or you don't have time to look into it right now. But I want to make sure that you get this information because I'm not going to be the one that holds it back from you. I'm not going to be the one that regrets not telling you because I believe in it that much for me, for whatever reasons, right? It's not about the same.
Alix is, oh, sorry.
Go.
Yeah, I think what you've put in here, just even as this first one that you have on the screen, sharing with everybody. And what I'll do here is I'm going to put this in the chat. So if anybody wants to just copy and paste it, you can copy and paste it and just customize it as you want. And I think taking this back to what you were talking about earlier about 331, if you make this really simple, customize it for the person that you're reaching out to. And you're following that 331. If you just do an intro text to 3 people a day, and the whole idea is at the end of it, you're asking to jump on a call, but really this compounds over time. You send it to 3 people, maybe you get on a call with 1 person that day, and then maybe 2 of those people reach out and say, hey, I'm free on Friday or Saturday. But all you really have to do is send 3 texts out at the beginning. And if you really think how long that actually takes you, that will take you less than 15 minutes to send 3 texts a day. And what that does is it actually, people start coming back to you and telling you when they're available to chat. And you've kind of warmed them up that you have something exciting to share with them. So that icebreaker's there. You can have find out how they're doing, you know, all that stuff. And then you're open to chat about it because they've given you the invitation already through text because you've shared this information. And I'm not too sure people really understand how powerful just the intro text is, or even through social media. The same thing. Hey, was just thinking about you. I really want to share something with you. Do you have 5 minutes to chat anytime soon? And it's this warm up that gets people ready for you to share with them, and versus just you can by all means do it, pick up the phone, cold call somebody, but they might be in the middle of something. But if you get the permission from them, hey, do you have time for 5 minutes or 10 minutes? And they put that time aside, and you have their attention, versus kind of just calling them and bit of a distraction. I know it's not everybody's way. Alix loves to call. She already said it. She does that. I just find when I set people up in the sense of making sure that it's a good time for them, and that they're actually receptive to hearing something, there's way more success. Just way more success.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Absolutely.
So
yeah.
So guys,
totally. And
in there that I just copied and pasted it into the chat, so you guys can grab it, customize it so it works for you. And if anybody feels called, send one out. And if you send it out tonight, let us know in the chat, because I think this is the whole purpose that we want to do here, is to give you and empower you guys to be able to do this business very quickly. Like I said, you can do 3 texts in 15 minutes, right? And it's just, you do 3 texts every day for 15 minutes. You're going to start filling up your calendar with people that are going to reach out to you and find out why you're so excited about something.
Yeah, and you're gonna find the text that you get, it's gonna become natural for you. You're gonna find the ones that really that people respond to, that things that work for you. And I'm gonna share even just a follow-up text because we're talking 331, right? We're on our way to manager in this call. So we've already got a couple of customers. We're looking for 2 silvers on each side. So I'm gonna go ahead and scroll down here and show you a recent example of sharing just a follow-up with somebody who I had met, who I spoke with on the phone after I took an in-person order with her. I hadn't even got, we were talking about all the worldly things that were happening in the world and blah, blah, blah. And I never even came around or had a chance to come around to what she even does for a living. Right. So I took her order on site and then I placed her order and then I called her to make sure she got the patches. She hadn't started them yet. So in that conversation, I come to find out what she does for a living. And I told her and I invited her because on that call, my goal was, what's the next thing? I'm going to invite her to my live call. And so I was doing a call and I said, I know that we just talked in person, but I actually do these calls all the time for people so that they can actually send people to the information. Normally you don't sit down and talk about it like I did, right? Most of the time we don't do that. Unfortunately, sometimes I can't not do that. But anyway, so I was trying to turn it back into a system to show her I do these calls. And she immediately was like, well, can I tell somebody else? Can I share that with somebody? And I said, absolutely. And then I asked her about what she did for a living and she told me, and I said, how's that going for you? And she's like, oh my gosh, I've been doing it for this many years, but it's really taking a downturn, la, la, la. And I said, well, our business right now is on a huge upturn. In fact, we just grew, 30% in 1 month this summer. We're on a huge upturn. And she's like, what? And I said, well, I know you're just getting started and I can share more about that with you, but we can always have that conversation later. I'm excited for you to get your patches. I'll check in with you next week. Right. So that was the seed plant on that call. She shared the event. I don't know if she got on it or not. It doesn't matter. The invitation was there, and she was already ready to share. And this was the text that I sent to her after that call. Hey, since you started wearing the patch, I'm curious if you're one of the lucky ones that felt it right away. Sleep, even and more energy, mood improvements, workout recovery. I know it's early in the game. This is literally 4 days in, you guys, 4 days in. But I thought I'd throw a few things out there and see how it's going. I know it's a holiday week, but as soon as you have an hour, let's get together, talk more about sharing with others because she already had, okay? That's the context. Context is hugely important. I wouldn't have invited her to that quite yet had there not been some context there, but there was. And I said about sharing with others and the opportunity. Business is exploding right now and it's pretty exciting what's happening underneath your position. She came in at silver with an auto ship, and so fun. And that was her reply was, I do feel better. Right. I've got ways to go getting over long COVID, but whatever, blah, blah, blah. So she's like, tell me about it. Tell me, I want to know all about the program. So it's bold, but literally it was an in-person meeting, got to know her, shared the product, got her interested enough to order. And granted, maybe not everybody can do that on the first thing, but that will build for you. And it's okay if it doesn't happen the first time, but in this case it did. We did not talk about the business, but she obviously knew I was into it. I invited her to the system, Next Exposure, the event. And she immediately just showed me that she was a sharing type of person. She's a caring and sharing type of person, wanted to extend that out. I jumped on it right there because the context is there. So I wanted to share this example with you, not because this is typical and all the time, but it's not uncommon at all. And you want to be ready for it and not afraid of it and not thinking that everybody's going to go through the same process because this woman right now, yeah, she's got a couple more days before we can get together, but I just know she's in. And she knows that I told her, I'm going to set you up on an auto ship because I have a feeling you're going to do this. And I don't want you to lose anything. I don't want to leave $1 on the table for you, So I wanted to share this text for you. So if you want to pop that in there, Aaron, and I'll turn it over to you right now. And then we can talk about actually crafting something for you guys to share right now in the next 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes before our next call.
So I just put the follow-up one in there that Alix crafted. So the same thing, you guys can copy and paste that one. And so maybe let's just go back up to that intro one that you did that I put in the chat also, and maybe just kind of talk about the structure of that, and then I'll about that's more for a text, and then maybe I can talk about it like the same thing in social, right?
Yeah. Okay, great. So I know I usually text you because we're usually really busy, right? So, but I'd love a couple minutes with you. This is a very direct way of saying, I want to get on the phone with you, but I'm also considerate of your time. So you're already framing, this is going to be short, but this is important. That's the frame that we're doing here, right? I'm just reading the text and just saying what I'm doing here. So I've considered the relationship. I haven't gone into why I thought of them because this is not just a blank thing. This is somebody I normally text, right? Okay. I'm excited about something I've learned about, and I think it will resonate with you as well. Okay. Because we're friends. I'm excited about something I learned about. I think it'll something to that effect. You can personalize it, but that's the general idea of it. It could be like, girlfriend, you're going to flip out. I found something you're going to flip out. Like, seriously, let's get on the phone. It's got to be personal, you guys. It could be, I know we haven't talked in a little bit, but oh my goodness, I found this thing and I thought of you because. It's so like, I want to give you an exact text, you guys, but it has to come from your heart. So the principles are the most important part. It's not the actual words. I don't want you to copy and paste because this is personal. And so, but I'll still continue here. Let's get on a quick call, maybe 3 minutes, to catch up on what's been going on with you. Because I care. I want to know, do they have a problem still? Or are they still excited about the thing I wanted to connect with them about? Are they still into health? Are they still, I want to make sure we're still on the same page, right? And then maybe a few minutes, I'm honoring their time, right? Like, it's all about them. I can't serve them if I'm focused on me. I have to focus on them. Do they still have an issue or a concern or a thing that they're excited about that we resonate with? Are they still on that? Like, are they still looking for a solution, or are they still excited about that? Are they still promoting that? Are they still involved in that? Right? So it's like, we have to tune in. And then, are they open to learning more? Are they open to a solution? Or are they closed, right? So there's like these pieces. And I'm going to just tell you guys, I'm just going to announce it right now for however many of you get to hear this right now. I will be doing a series on how to sell network marketing without fear, anxiety, or losing your friends. It is going to be an amazing whole set of trainings, and it's going to be on build331.com to help you to craft this stuff, to really get to the philosophy behind how to sell naturally. Natural selling is what it's called. And so the goal of this text is to move them from here to here, and we have to connect. Do they know that? Are we connecting with what's real for them? Are they making a step to the next thing? Are they still open to a solution to that or a next step to that thing? And here's my offer. There's like a movement there. And to understand that flow and the philosophy of that, you can fill in the pieces really, really, really easily and naturally. So in this text, you see it. I know that we're normally busy and everything, but I have this thing I want to share with you. I want to make sure that it's something that works for you, that you're still interested in. Let's get on a quick call. It's very direct. I'm opening this doorway, and now I get to close the loop with them. Whether they're interested or not, I get to follow up until I have a conclusion to that. We're either going to get on the phone, or they're not ready, or they need more time, or we're going to find another time. But I get to follow up openly until that loop is closed. Yeah. And I'm not afraid to follow up 5 to 7 times because I told them and they agreed, right? Like I follow the thread, and we agree that, okay, I'm sorry I missed you again. I promised you I would get this to you. If you're not interested, let me know for sure, but I'm not going to give up because I know we're all busy and everything, and I'm not going to tell a story to myself. And I'm going to continue to follow up. But by all means, I'm only attached to you getting the information because I'm so excited about it. And I think it's really going to fit for you. I'll call you again. I'll call you again, or I'll text you again until they tell you otherwise. And most of the time, I would say over 90% of the time, at least in my experience at this point, is thank you for not giving up on me. It's just a crazy time, or thank you. Here's a better time. Check in with me here. Or I'll tell them, if you're not interested, just let me know. I'll totally close the loop. I'm not here to bother you. I just want to make sure you get what you need. And I know you're busy. It's totally not about us, you guys. So don't be afraid. Like, don't be afraid. Anyway, sorry, I could go on and on and on and on. But
Alix, it's so good. And I just really want to reiterate to people too, that these are actually not sales techniques that, you know, we're trying to give you kind of some templates, but they're templates of actually of being in service and being your authentic self. And I think that's the difference between other networking marketing things, that they're trying to sell people. This isn't actually really about selling. If you're excited about the product and you genuinely feel the difference for yourself, you're just sharing with people that you love. And like Alix has said, there's no attachment to that. That's the beautiful thing about it. Is like, if they're ready for it, they're ready for it. And if you share from your heart, and you craft these texts, and they give an invitation for you to share it with them, perfect. You know, if they get on board, that even better. But I think what we're really trying to show you is allow you and give you a little bit of framework for you to fully express from your heart how you want to share, versus it kind of could be a bit cumbersome, right? So I think that example that Alix was kind of talking about there, that's a great kind of option for text. And I'm just going to share just real quick, because I've seen do it so many times. I've done it a few times myself. It's the same principle that you guys can do with social media. The beautiful thing about social media is the fact is that you get to see in people's lives. So there's a bit of a commonality there. So you can see something where, hey, was just thinking about you, saw that you were doing such and such, or saw that, oh, you rolled your ankle playing basketball, or whatever that commonality is. If that person comes to your mind, just check out their page, because I'm sure there's something in there that you can connect with them on, and just ask them if they have 5 or 10 minutes to chat. And it actually doesn't really even matter if you haven't chatted with them in a long time. You can bring that up in your DM with them. Just find a commonality that you feel comfortable with. It could be that this person's parents, and their parents are struggling with something, and so you could actually be suggesting the product for their parents, which we just did for another friend of ours, and they got it for their parents, but at the same time they're like, I think I really want to try this myself too. So just look at it from a point of view when you're reaching out to people, to find that piece of commonality. It's really important, and then it just kind of lets everything flow from there. So
100%. I could not agree more. That rapport, the connect point, is everything. And to show that person that you care more about them than yourself, again, it's service to others. I think from my very first training coming, back into this world here, it's always been, it has to be service to others, or you will be received at your greatest fear, which is that they're going to think I'm trying to sell them. And please understand that energy is everything. We are made of light, right? We are all energy. We're all connected. You guys, you can't hide your energy from somebody else. You really need to get grounded and centered in, I believe in this. If you don't believe enough in this product, this company, this industry, and this business, this plan, this comp plan, then that's where you need to go to work, right? You need to build your belief in that, in all 4 of those areas: the company, the product, the industry, and the comp plan. Dive in, because when you are rock solid about those 4 things, it won't be about you trying to sell anything. It will be about you wanting to share your enthusiasm about those things, because you believe in it and you're living it. and that come from will change your business. It will change everything. It'll change everything about this first text, the second text, the third call, the fourth invitation. Every interaction will be infused with your energy. And
what are those four things again? Those are really important. What were the four things that you just shared?
Product.
Yeah.
The product itself, the company, LifeWave, the industry that we're involved in, the biologics, the stem cell industry. I know we're not supposed to say stem cells. Let's just call, I mean, we can say wellness. It's just too nebulous for me. We are in the regenerative industry. Let's just be real about it. And the comp plan that we have, the compensation plan we have is to die for. It's amazing. Amazing. And when you know those things you don't have to know them to teach them, but you know them in your heart to be like really like the best of the best of the best, then to offer those things is not, it's coming from a genuine place. You're not selling, you're not trying, because if you're selling yourself, right? If you know, then you're sharing. It's just it's a different come from. And that's the greatest gift I can give you guys at this point of just getting going and getting started. You're going to have better results from the energy that you bring to it and your belief that you bring to it. And that will be infused in every text, every call, everything that you do. So yeah, that can't be faked.
Someone was just asking for this. Alex, they're just asking for a printout of it. Is it okay if
that's fine. That's fine. I'm not going to post it anywhere, but you guys are more than welcome to this. I'm not sure how to give it though.
Can we have someone, are they able to email you and then to grab it?
Oh, absolutely. You? Let's just do that. Yep. And I'll just reply right back with it. No problem. You can email me directly at Alix Reger, ALIX. Actually, let's do this. Alex.
Email in there. So I
Which
put
one did you put in the
chat? alixreger@gmail.com.
Okay, yeah, that'll work. That'll totally work.
Okay. Yep. So Deborah, I just put her email in there. Just reach out to her and she can get you so you can print it out. Okay.
Yep. And for those on the replay, alixreger@gmail.com. Yep.
Perfect.
Totally works. Thanks. Thanks, Deborah. And thank you, Aaron.
Yeah.
So guys, you got 20 minutes until the next call, right? So Aaron, take it from here. Like you guys, if you want to craft something right now, reach out to 3 people, invite them to that call. They can learn about the product, the company, the industry, and the comp plan on that call.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what part are you excited about? Who do you want to invite? And position it accordingly. Okay.
Yeah, and remember what we were saying, like especially for following this 3-3-1 plan, this really makes it simpler for you guys. If you guys can craft use the structure that Alex has put here for you, but customize it for yourself, and then just send 3 texts out a day or 3 DMs, just inviting people to have a 5-minute conversation, and it will literally just snowball and compound for you. So we really want to talk about this a lot more of, less talk and being a little bit more in action and helping you guys, the whole goal is to get you to manager or director as fast as possible. So
I need tape. I need tape over my mouth. I'm going to let you guys do the next call. You two do the next call. Oh, you guys are awesome. Aaron, thank you. Thank you for hosting the call. It looks like we're going to wrap up now. Any last thoughts, words?
Yeah, just real quickly, we do have like 2 minutes here. Does anybody have any questions that we can answer real quickly just before? If no one does, we will wrap it up.
It says, where does this replay again? It's going to be on YouTube. So if you go to our team YouTube page, which is on all flyers from how you got here, go there and go to the playlists. And they are actually creating, if it's not there already, they're creating a list for Launch Lab. If it's not there yet, then it'll be on the Wednesday calls. You'll find a replay as soon as this call is over.
And it's Quantum Team on YouTube, right? Is that Quantum Team?
It is Quantum Team. But if they're here, then they should be able to find that link. And you should be able to click that link even from the flyer, even if it's a PDF. Yeah. Perfect. You're welcome.
Alex, thank you so much. You were
thank you.
Rock star as always. So
how are you?
Thank you everybody for joining us tonight. It's been great. So I know we try to do something a little different, but I think it's great, and we'd love to hear from you guys next Wednesday. All the success stories of you guys putting this into action. So,
and not only that, post your questions. We're here to serve you guys. If you have things that you need to help you get to manager, please post those for us, and we will put them in the queue and we will address them.
Awesome.
All right.
Hey guys, have a good one.
Thank you. We'll see you on the next call in 15.
Yeah.